Hello, welcome to Tip Drops with Khalida, another live version this week. Today I want to share some upper body openers. For those people who are taking my boost classes, we are working with fan wheels at the moment, so anything that frees up the upper body will be helpful for that. But this is good for anyone who wants to be able to breathe freely and to move with more freedom. These exercises might be nice to try. So what you will need for today is not much prop-wise. You will need your environment. So if you have a wall, that will be good. A table or something of equal height or a bit higher would be nice. And we'll also do some exercises on the floor. First though, I want to tell you a bit about how these kinds of tips work. I've received a couple of questions about postural imbalances and how to fix this. And this is something that we work on sneakily in my boost program. If you were interested in signing up for it, we are sold out now, but I want to do another longer series next year in 2021. You can already sign up for the notification list, which will give you early access. So in December, you can already sign up, hopefully, and you will have a spot for, hi, whoever's there, and you will have a spot for next year because the number of places will be limited. So if you want to move more, have range of motion available for your dancing and apply this to dance, my boost program might be for you. If you sign up for the notify list, I'll put the link below, you will get access for free to my 2-hour belly work workshop that's coming up in November. All right, next to that, first thing to know is that our posture is not just this muscle is tight and that muscle is crooked or the bones are crooked. If anyone tells you that postural imbalances are local, I would say try out for yourself if there's not some truth to the adage that everything is connected. As you know, I am very much into biomechanics geekery, and a book that I recommend for if you want to know more about how the chains of movement, how the layers and patterns of our movement work together, I recommend checking out Anatomy Trains. It's a big book with a lot of visuals, and this helped me a lot in figuring out how to help myself also. And I use this input subconsciously in my classes. So Anatomy Trains, a very good book. If you are interested at all in how movement works and how different parts of your body work together to give you motion patterns. A way to demonstrate this, and this I do in classes because it still freaks me out, and why we do a warm-up in my classes that opens and closes different joints, is that our flexibility is also partially neurological. What your body perceives as its center will say how far you can go in and out from it at every joint we have. And also how safe we feel, and this is why self-care is so important if you're a dancer, but also as a human. If you feel safe, you will be more free to move. If you feel unsafe, you'll go into protection mode, literally, also in your body. Also, if you have some unresolved trauma, it can get stuck in different body parts without you even knowing about what caused it. And opening your posture, you might meet resistance in these spots, might bring up emotional stuff. It's all connected. We are not just brains, not just hearts, not just bodies. It's all one thing. All right, that being said, try this out. Also, it will tell you how much your eyes make a difference. You're standing with the feet to the front, an arm to the side, and we rotate from the center, the rib cage, looking over the shoulders, seeing how far you can reach. So look over your hand and see how far this goes. Then you keep your arm there, but you look away, giving this whole chain of movement a stretch. Then you look again and see if you can rotate further. For me, it's this much. And if I were to start my dancing, before doing this, I would have had this kind of range for my fan wheels. Now after, I have this kind of range for my fan wheels. So it is important to educate yourself in some way and to give your body the opportunity to use all its available range of motion. I have not stretched this arm, and you have not either. This is just a matter of how important it is to move our bodies and the chains in different ways. Other side also, otherwise we're crooked temporarily. Also, this tells you that you don't have to be stuck with a certain posture. There might be movements that will help you, and this is also my theory, that if you have an operation to give you less pain when you're moving, it's not really proven. Some operations, the effectiveness is not the operation itself, but the exercises they make you do after it for recovery. Try the exercises first and then get an operation. It cannot hurt. It cannot hurt to try if the exercises you would be doing may be already beneficial enough to give you pain relief. It's always the better option to do this first. So move more, move first, and then go into the next option. Life advice. So second side, feet pointing straight, arms straight to the side, rotate from the center as far as you can, comfortably without pain. Look over the hand, then look away as far as you can. You'll feel a nice stretch, then look again, and suddenly this part will have more give. And that's because it's not only one muscle rotating, it's a whole change, and a little bit at every joint goes a long way. So now you have two arms that will be able to move more freely. So this is my first big motion opener. Simply using, and you might do it even a couple of times and go further every time. Then you use this movement within 30 seconds with whatever movement you were practicing to get it into your muscle memory and to make your body remember that it is safe for it to move in that range. Another way to give yourself more range of motion and to kind of save it in your muscle memory is to work your strength in the end ranges of your joints. And one way to do this, and I just recorded a video for my push-up challenge people. If you haven't heard of this, it's a free 6-day challenge. Now it's become 7 days, where I send you emails every day trying to tempt you to do one push-up. And after you've done that, you get some posture tips and technique tips from me, as well as variations to try, and this you can apply to any other movement. So one thing to do, if you are tight here when your arms go up, or when you try to lift your elbows, which is a movement I use in dance a lot. If you feel a tightness here and or here, when you do this, try this one. It's already part of one of the other tip drops, but I want to repeat it and go a bit deeper. You need a wall. Sorry for the mess. Move. Move my blocks out of the way. Your hands will be above your head. Your elbows will be straight. So not out, not in, straight. From here, I cannot go higher because of the clock. I have to walk back instead. So you can walk back and you'll feel a nice deep, deep stretch right here and maybe also here. So wherever you feel a restriction, without letting the hands sneak out of this slightly uncomfortable position, and then you move your head. If this feels very tight, come out of it, catch a breath, and then you go back here. Stay here, inhale at the tight point, hold your breath, and then as you exhale, you might be able to go a millimeter deeper. And then from there you can move side to side, or you can move up and down, and then circle. So moving in this end range is what will free up quickly and also persistently. And this is something you can do any place, anytime, wherever there's a wall. Okay. Third exercise and final one is on the floor. You may also be able to do this on the table, but I'll show you on the floor. That's how I learned it. So grab a yoga mat if you need one. If you have trouble with your wrists, doing anything on the floor, if your hands like this is painful, you can also make fists. And this way your wrists will stay lengthened and not down. So however you like. Important to lengthen, to think hips away, hips to that wall, and head to that wall. Pulling yourself out, 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 out. Hands are shoulder width, knees are hip width. And from there, one hand will go underneath. And I will bend the supporting arm and I try to look at the ceiling. You can even lay down. And then I rotate to the other side and look up and extend my arm. And when I first do this, it feels pretty tight. So I do a couple, 5 maybe. But let's do 3. And change hands, because I want to also do this on the table. So, a free hand goes under, and then you bend and you try to look at the ceiling. You can even lay down your head. And then you try to look at the ceiling again while you open. So down and open. You'll feel this in this arm, in this hip, maybe even your obliques. And you can do 3 to 5 is enough to give you a bit of activation, stabilization, and also opening. Oh, the light is very bright. Alternatively, try this with a table. Maybe you don't want to be on the floor. So for this, I have to calibrate, see how far my feet can be, and that you can still see me. It's a bit more tricky because I'm less stable with my knees not as bent. So I will bring in my feet a bit closer and try it like this. So if you are very challenged, if this is painful in any way to do this on the floor, try it on the floor first though, then you can use a bit of elevation. But it is easiest to feel it on the floor, I just noticed. Okay, so those are my 3 movements to try. First one is here, rotation, looking away, rotation again, and then do the movement you want to practice right away. Second one is at the wall, a variation of an earlier tip drop, keeping the hands perpendicular, so no meeting and not going out, using your feet and weight shifts to move in this position, and using your breathing to go deeper. And the third one is threading the needle in and out, which will strengthen your shoulder in all the ranges of motion and also move your obliques and open this arm at the same time. So I like movements that combine different things. That's it for me for this week. I hope these movements are useful. I will be sharing some of the previous tip drops online. You will see them pop up here and there. And today I posted the one, for those who are new to the tip drops, the one where my husband assisted me because we had 25 sign-ups. Now we have a bit more. If you want to check out that, it's a very good mini exercise routine, I think 2 minutes, a movement break that we do together if we have a lot of computer work. So check out the tip drop with Mr. E, my husband. Be sure to sign up for my Boost Program 2021 notify list if you want to have early access, and enjoy today's tip drop. Enjoy the freedom of movement. If you have any tip drop requests, things you would like to have tips about, or if you have any postural struggles, movement struggles, let me know and I might do a tip drop for you. Okay, that's it. Bye bye. See you soon. Thank you for being here.